just binge watched Dil Dosti Dilemma. I have to say it's one of the nicest and sweetest shows I've seen this year. And Anushka, you're so good in it. So many congratulations. It's really lovely, and I think it's going to be a huge hit. I know I'm not the target audience, but I think in my mind I'm an 18-year-old, so I really loved it. So many congratulations.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. That means a lot. But you know what? You are also our target audience. And I'm glad that you liked it because that's the beauty of the show. It's actually meant for everyone. And I'm so
Yeah,
glad that
absolutely.
you liked it. I'm so glad. Thank you so much.
It's so lovely. So, Anushka, I really want to, understand the whole. I just love the way, the atmosphere and the whole Tibri Road environment comes alive in it. So, I wanted to understand a little bit about you, and then how you fitted into this wonderful world so easily. Could you tell me a little about yourself?
Definitely, ma'am. I would say that I've been acting for a while and I love my job. I love to act. And this show is something that I would genuinely say that I was dreaming about a show like this. I'm a big rom-com girl. I happen to love rom-coms. Be Shah Rukh sir films to La La Land. I have that whole range of rom-com movies that, all bunch. You might name one. I have already watched it 30 times. So, to be the lead of such a beautiful journey, such a beautiful script was a dream come true. And there were so many shows that were offered to me before that and during Asmara, but this was something that in my heart I knew was just right, and I was just
Yeah,
following my dil. And it turned out amazing. And I'm so glad that I could fit in this beautiful world of Dil Dosti Dilemma. It's a sweet, wholesome show. And I think it
absolutely.
was missing from our OTT world, and
Yeah,
we all kind of needed it. And it's because I feel cinema is a form of escapism, because when you're working and you're doing things, when you come back home, if there's a nice warm sweet story, you feel happy to watch it and it can make you smile, and that's a win for us. And that's what's been the review for our show, that people are smiling, people are
yeah,
watching it with their family, they can watch it with their friends, partner, anybody. And I think that's the very big thing for our show. And Asmara is a very complex yet unique character. She's very layered. It starts off a bit, then you're like, oh, she's a little
she's
unaware,
such a
she's naive.
brat. Yeah,
She is a brat. Yes, we
yeah,
can agree. She is a brat. But we have to also remember that she's just a teenager who's trying to fit in.
absolutely. Yeah,
And I love that we address those things, because I feel the youth right now also feel a certain pressure that they have to fit in. And that the way they describe fitting in is just horribly wrong. I feel fitting in is just being yourself and being with people who accept
yeah,
you for the way you are. And I'm glad that the show also addresses this. It makes you smile but also makes you think.
absolutely. Um, uh, I was about to call you Asmara,
Please
but you
do.
know.
I love that.
But Anushka, tell me, where are you from, and how did you? How are you from Bangalore? Do you know Tibri Road, or places like that? Tell me a little.
So I was born in Ranchi and I've been in Mumbai for the past 16 years. I'm a Bengali.
Yeah.
So it's very different for me. We don't know the language and it was very different. That was the beauty of the character. I got to learn so much. But I'm a Bengali. I was brought up in Mumbai and I have a sweet little Bong family. I'm an only child. And I have relatives in Kolkata, in Jamshedpur. My Nana Nani house, the Tibri Road, happens to be in Jamshedpur.
Oh,
But the
really?
only yes, but the only difference is that I'm actually very close to my Nana Nani.
Right.
Except Asmara takes a little time.
Yeah, yeah. So I think Anushka is a young person and a huge fan following. I was looking at your Insta. How many millions of followers do you have? I don't even know how to count all that. How many
Yeah,
do you have?
it's about 39 million, ma'am. It's like 3 crore people. So
God, that's a whole lot of people. And I was listening to your interviews as well, and I like the fact that you address this. This idea of what your fans want from you, what you want to tell them, what you want to give them. So it's a tremendous responsibility as well. So for
Yes.
someone so young, how have you handled that? How have you handled and adapted to that responsibility?
Like you said, ma'am, absolutely. I believe the thing that we do as actors, or the platform that we have, the exposure that we hold, we have a very big responsibility of what we are doing. And I would really give the credit to my fans, because every time I go out and their parents with their kids who meet me, and they're like, my kid really looks up to you and she wants to become like you. And that's when it snaps. You're like, you're not doing your job just for yourself, but it's
Yeah,
also for the people around you. And I think that's really wonderful that that sense of responsibility actually comes from the people who have made me who I am today. The
right.
numbers, it's not only the numbers, but it's also about the way they love. It's so unconditional, it's so wonderful that anytime, anywhere I am, they just give me so much love. And that's my biggest motivation to do my best. And I take that inspiration and put that into my work. And I hope that it shows on screen that I really want to do my best just for them.
How much of Asmara is Anushka and how much of Anushka is Asmara?
Yeah, they're actually, they're in a way they are very similar, but there are a lot of differences that they have. I'll tell you about the similarities first. I feel both of them have a lot of energy. They speak a lot, they love to
Oh,
talk.
yeah,
They
my
uh
God.
yes, like Asmara, you know how she's always talking
Yeah,
like that. She Anushka is also like that. A very I'm an extremist. I'm an extreme extrovert, to put it correctly. And every emotion that I feel, you can see it. I will not hide it. And you can just see what I feel. And with Asmara also, when she's upset, you can clearly see she's upset.
yeah,
The way they both don't agree with not taking stands for the
right.
wrong things, for the right things, I feel that is also something that I believe in. I will always take a stand for things that are wrong and things which are right. I'll always make sure that people know that this is something that I don't believe in, or I believe in. So that is something that is very similar. They're both passionate about what they do. Something like, for an example, when she starts a business with Ruxana, there's a
Yeah,
whole thing where she's motivating her to be in this business, and just because she's so skillful, and Asmara just wants her to shine like that. I think I'm also like that as a person. I would really hate it if there's somebody who's talented and they don't have the opportunity to present themselves or to portray their skill set. So I think that way we're similar. Talking about differences, I mean, I am very close to my family. I am very, very close to my grandparents. The She's naive. See, I would say that Asmara is also naive. She's just growing up. She's 17. She's
yeah,
a teenager,
yeah.
and that phase, that the whole transition, that transformation, where you realize that how important relationships are, how important family and friends are, that has happened long back to me, because I started working at a very young age. So I really understand the importance of my family and the contribution that they hold in my life. So yeah, I would say that are the differences, but I'm glad that difference is there, or else the show would be so boring to watch if she was perfect from the beginning,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, but Anushka, I mean, starting in the industry so young, your family also must have been very protective of you. They must have, always told you, yeah, sure, you can do this, but there are also pitfalls. So
Mm.
there are, I mean, fame is a double-edged sword. So
Yeah.
how have you managed to handle that? Because it can be, especially if you start very young,
Mm.
you don't have the psychological and emotional ability to handle that kind of fame. So, how did you grow up so sensible?
Thank you for calling me sensible, ma'am. It's all credit to my fans and my friends and my family. Honestly, that's what I was talking about. The contribution that they hold in my life is
Yeah,
amazing, because when you start very young, first of all, you don't know what it is. It's such a big world and
exactly.
it's so
Yeah.
unknown to you, right? It's like unbelievable that the whole fact that people are recognizing you and being like, I watch you on TV, that whole thing was very new to me when I was young.
When did you first understand that you're famous,
Understand? I
or when
think
did
when
it
I
first
was
occur to you?
I think when I was in school, because when I used to go on set and then go back to my school, I started realizing that, oh, I think I'm kind of famous because the teachers are giving me so much love, and
Right.
the whole building, all the kids would come up to me and be like, oh, we are watching your show, we are watching what you're doing. So I think that I understood pretty early. But I would say that why it didn't get to me, or I still don't let it get to me, is because of my parents. Because it so I happen to work with MS Dhoni, Mahi Chachu as I call him. He is a
Wow.
legend. He
Yeah.
is a legend. I've done 14 ads with him, ma'am. I've worked with him for
Wow.
7 years, from
Wow.
being a child to a teenager. Yes. So the whole process, I've seen him how he is in person, and he's so level-headed. He's so like sincere, and he's just another person, if you know what I mean. He doesn't
Yeah.
make you feel like he's somebody who's a biggie and you're nobody. He doesn't treat anybody like that. Not only me, my parents, he had so much respect for them. He has so much respect for everybody around him. And my father always keeps like, whenever I'm doing something good, he's like, but remember where you come from. Remember how Mahi Chachu, if he's at that level and he has no attitude, you are just beginning. So yeah, to just remember that you're just a blip in the universe, I think it kind of makes you feel that you're just doing your job. People are smiling, need to be just focused on that instead of being like, oh wow, what a life
He's
and
such a
all of
star.
that. Yeah, can't have that, ma'am. Absolutely not. I
Yeah.
think that'll ruin the whole happiness. I still always am very like, I try to be the most humble person around. If anybody's around me, I try to be my best. That's it. Yeah, I just want to make people smile. That's it. That's my intention.
What do your parents do, Anushka?
My parents,
Yeah.
so my mom is a homemaker now, but she also sings. She
Okay.
is a very like, there's like levels of classical singing, right?
Right.
So she has done Visharat in classical singing. She's on the 7th level. So she does
Wow.
that. And she's been sort of my manager for a couple of years. And now I am in an agency, but she was kind of my manager, and she used to come to me, come with me on set and
Right.
manage all the things and manage me as a person. So she's done a lot for me. Without her, I wouldn't be here. And my dad is in IT. They both actually have IT backgrounds, but my dad is the director of a company called Obedu, which is all about AR and VR. So it's really cool like
Okay.
that.
Great. So, what do you intend to do, Anushka? I believe you're in a Korean movie as well.
Yes.
Is that so? Yeah.
Yes.
Talk a
Yes,
little
ma'am.
about this.
Sure. So 1.5 years ago, I actually went to Korea for the first time. It actually starts from COVID times when I was
Right.
alone at home. I was rewatching all Shah Rukh sir films because I'm a big fan, and then I was watching Satyajit Ray films because I'm a Bengali. So I really wanted to see sir's
Yeah.
work, and I did, and got really inspired. And then after a while, I was like, what else can I watch to improve my craft and just feel a little better, because everything outside was so negative and
Right.
so like pulling you down in a lot of ways. So I was like, what can make me feel better? And then I got to know that K dramas are a thing that make you feel wholesome and they're like warm fuzzy hugs. So I was like, let's give it a shot. And it's literally one of the best things that's happened to me, because I manifested my way to Korea. I
Hmm.
would see some scenes. There's iconic place called Han River,
Hmm.
and I would just tell my mom that, mom, you know what, it'll be so cool if I go and act at like in a film and be in Han River and do something like that. And then cut to some producers and directors called me from Korea. We had like Zoom calls just like this, and then they were like, we have been tracking you for 2 years and we think you're a very good fit in our film called Asia. And I was like, really? That'll be amazing to represent my country. That's a huge opportunity, and what a big responsibility. So they let me do that, and I went to Korea, did my first sked. We still have second sked to shoot, but it's been going amazing. I also got appointed as the ambassador for Korea tourism,
Wow.
so also a big honor. Yeah, and representing my country can't feel better than that, because as an actor, you're doing your job. Of course, it's so exciting and amazing, but representing your country, it's just a different level of happiness. I'm really grateful.
Great. So let's come back to Dil Dosti Dilemma, because I think at the core of it, the values that it talks about, and in a way that is so much fun that you don't feel that there's a message to it.
Yeah.
Talking about diversity, talking about inclusivity, talking about acceptance, not just tolerance, but acceptance, which is a far more powerful thing.
Beautiful. Yeah.
What was it that called out to you about the show? Apart from Asmara's character herself, what was it that called out to you about the show?
I feel, ma'am, it's been a very long time that we had a show which is genuinely comforting, and it also has a message, like you beautifully said, that it has a message, but it's in such a fun way that
Yeah.
you don't think that it's only about that. It's a beautiful journey. From the script, I would say that firstly, the director, and when I met the director, Debbie Rao, she's incredible. She's just a gorgeous, beautiful human being inside out, and she's the reason what we have created in the show, it's so much her.
Is she
So
from
I
Bangalore? I mean, does she know that world well?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, she
And I love the
actually.
way that you had Andaleave in the last episode. That was such a
Yes,
beautiful way of, completing the circle.
absolutely. And it starts from her. Without her,
Yeah,
we wouldn't be here.
exactly.
So the whole thing, ma'am, that there's so many girl powers involved actually.
Yeah,
Even the girl
yeah.
from Amazon is Prerna. So
Mm.
it's very much of a like a girl gang situation, and I was really excited about that. Second, I would say they're really talented, amazing people who have worked on this. That also really pulled me to it. That I would love to learn so much from these amazing individuals. And third, the script, the way it is, I just immediately fell in love with it. And also it was a script in a long time which made me feel that this message needs to go out. This, we
Yeah.
need to speak about all of this in
Right.
and in a very light-hearted way, which is very difficult to pull off. And I just
And
really want to
yeah.
get
And
selected.
Kush is
Yeah.
not bad.
Kush is amazing. I think Kush, he's also one of my closest friends, and honestly,
Really?
we
After the
yeah.
show or before?
After the show, we never
Yeah.
met before. We have mutual friends, but we never met before the show. And he and I just clicked. So it was really amazing to
So
just meet
lovely. Yeah.
him. And he's also really lovely as a person. He's a really good person, very hardworking. It's his debut. I'm very proud of him, what he's done. And people are speaking about our chemistry together, and that really made us
Yeah,
happy.
it
So
is
it's really nice.
lovely.
Thank you,
And
ma'am. Thank you.
of course, we're all waiting for now the second season because you left us on that cliffhanger. And who's
I
that
know.
woman? We want to kill her already.
Oh, I'm glad you said that. I feel the same. I'm so heartbroken, ma'am. See, I have to tell Kush. I told him, like, see, you just broke my heart.
So I think that that sort of sweet first or second love or whatever, that kind of sweetness is so compelling, and I think we all love a good story, love a love
That's
story.
true.
So
Ma'am, like even if you say, I was just thinking about it, like Indian cinema, if you see,
yeah,
was about getting people together and
exactly,
talking about love in the most purest form. And
yeah,
I kind of was missing it myself. I feel like, of course, there's great content out there, and we have
right,
sci-fi and we have thrillers, and they're good in their place. But I think we
yeah,
were missing out on our originality, and I think
exactly,
this show kind of holds that.
yeah. So wonderful. Anushka, it was such a pleasure to speak to you. And as I said, I'm waiting for season two, waiting to see what else you do. I think you'll be, successful wherever you go. But all the very best. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. And to anyone out there, please do watch Dil Dosti Dilemma. It's one of the sweetest shows this season. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.